This is Carol Grushow's story. Her story, like that of many people coming to America at that time, was what directly caused the spike in Jewish immigrants coming to America. She was born in Poland on March 5, 1911. During World War II, her, among many other Jewish people living in Europe, were put into concentration camps and forced to work. In 1933, there was a man who took control of the German government. His name was Adolf Hitler. Hitler didn't like people who weren't of German blood. He wanted Germany to be a Germany for Germans. Therefore, he wanted to get rid of many different types of people, especially the Jewish people. Hitler was upset about the German loss in World War I, which led to a depression in Germany. This gave Hitler a reason to blame the Jewish people. In 1939, Hitler and the Nazis invaded Poland, and as a result of his anger and frustration, many Jewish people were killed. Hitler and the Nazis sent many Jewish people to labor camps where they were very open with their intentions. At these camps, they stripped them of their identity and forced them to work. If someone was not fit to work, they would be killed. They had many different methods to kill these people, an example of which is the gas chamber, after which the bodies would be cremated. Along with her sister Rose, Carol went through many labor camps. The first camp she went to was Pionek.
We were at Pionek for almost a year. At this camp, our main job was to build barracks.
The next camp was called Hindenburg.
The one thing I noticed about Hindenburg was that it was a very clean camp. The main kind of work that was done there was making beer.
The next camp they arrived at was Dachau. After that, they were sent to Auschwitz, the most infamous camp of all.
Auschwitz was the worst camp of all, and I am so thankful I was only there for a short time. While there, my head was shaved due to lice, and I was numbered with a tattoo on my forearm. My number was A14626.
She then went to Bergen-Belsen, where she would stay until she was liberated. She remembered hearing bombs dropping near Bergen-Belsen and praying that they would drop on the camp and put them all out of their misery. She said Hitler would have killed them all, but he just didn't have enough time. Another memory of hers was the train cars. She got forced into small cars and with many other people in very little space. They usually had little or no food and water for the entire trip.
I also remember the selection process. We were told to stand in an open area and remove all of our clothing. We were inspected for signs of diseases. If anyone looked sick, they were killed right away. My sister Rose and I were lucky enough to stay together the entire time we were in the camps. This was pure luck.
Another image she carried with her was the food they were served. All they got was watery soup and bread. Most people would eat their food right away, but some would save their bread for later. Because of that, when someone died, prisoners would often search bodies for spare food.
In May 1945, I was liberated from Bergen-Belsen.
The first thing many refugees did was find out who had survived in their families. In a few cases, there was good news, although many cases ended in sad news, since so many people had been killed. In her family, 2 relatives were found, but all of the rest never were. After being liberated, they stayed at the camp for almost 2 years because they had nowhere else to go, during which she gave birth to her first child, my aunt, Sally. This is where she met her husband, who was also searching for survivors. After they were married, they applied to immigrate to Israel and the United States. The United States responded first, so they boarded the U.S. ship Stewart. The boat ride took 2 weeks. The sea was rough and many people got seasick. They landed in New York on Columbus Day and almost immediately moved to Boston. In the years after moving to the United States, she was fine with talking about her experiences throughout the Holocaust. However, she was often haunted by dreams that she was back in the concentration camps, and it would take her a moment to realize where she was. Although she died in 1993, her legacy lives on through her children and grandchildren. It's because of them that her amazing story of perseverance and triumph will live on forever.